What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support the channel, then there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Sleeping Warrior, Ranty Flat Earth, Pumpkin Puff, Paul, Chocolate Sane, Warren, Arwin, and 10th Man. Very good to have you all.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good to be here.
I heard you slowly butchering my name a little bit.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. There is a gap on the panel, so if we do want to have somebody join us for the housekeeping, preferably from the globe side, then you're more than welcome. Any signs of curvature?
Nope.
Nope.
Haven't seen it.
Specifically Earth, right?
Still just the effects of perspective being called Earth curve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, any obstructions curve on their world, right?
Right. With all those lists that they come up with of all the things that could be causing obstruction from the bottom up, you'd think they'd realise that simply asserting all of it is caused by Earth curve is absolutely absurd. But there we go, that's what we're dealing with. Any signs of axial rotation, as Ranty's here, of the Earth-based variety?
Nah.
No, no axes. Just a little bit of star rotation. Just a little bit of star rotation. Doesn't prove that the Earth's turning. It just says that the sky appears to be turning, but it doesn't prove that the Earth is.
Celestial spheres, man.
Yeah, the celestial sphere argument requires you presuppose that as you travel from what is called the northern hemisphere, presupposing spherical Earth, to the southern hemisphere, presupposing a spherical Earth, that you have travelled antipode to your first starting point. Well, as you travel across the flat plane, observing the horizon rising with you in the aeroplane you travel in, and not observing any curvature whatsoever between point A and point B, when you arrive at point B, the heavens, the stars that you're observing, will still definitely be above you. At no point will you ever observe any antipodal stars. You simply have to presuppose that as you travelled outwards towards the horizon, flat, level, in your plane, that you were actually travelling around a ball, even though you didn't experience it and it wasn't in any way apparent. But when you make that presupposition, and then you look, what are we looking down towards? No, we're not looking towards our arse, we're looking up in the sky again, aren't we? Up, not down. Well, when we look at the sky, we presuppose that actually the stars we looked at back at point A are now under our own arse. So when you make that ludicrous presupposition, then you can declare that what happens above your head somehow proves that you were on that ball that you presupposed to make the example in the first instance. It's called an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. If the Earth is a sphere, hence the use of the word hemisphere in case this isn't formalised the way I am. If the Earth is a sphere, we will observe antipodal star rotation. We observe antipodal star rotation, therefore the Earth is a sphere. If the Earth is a sphere, P, we will observe antipodal star rotation, Q. We observe antipodal star rotation, Q, therefore the Earth is a sphere, P. Formal logical fallacy. Worst of all, the presupposition is in there, so they beg the question as well. So they say if the Earth's a sphere, begging the question fallacy and formal logical fallacy, affirming the consequent. Any evidence of gas pressure being maintained without a container?
No.
Not possible.
Oh yeah. I've had claims, Nathan. I've had claims. The trolls on my feed say things like, "Yeah, I can show you gas pressure in it without a container. Jupiter and Saturn, dickhead." I'm like, really? That's your claim? How are you going to prove that that's a gas?
Yeah, they're not. There is no demonstration of a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. If there was, it wouldn't be a law. But they still seem to claim it, and every time their audience nods along while they say, "Oh yeah, you can definitely have gas pressure without a container. Earth's an example. Here's how." Cartoon. You go, well, you're trying to prove a law of nature's not true. So either you're in for a Nobel Prize or you're wrong. So, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
Definitely no confirmed measured distance to the sun.
Just a bit of maths, Nathan. Bit of maths that they tell us that they know the sizes and the distances to all these to be able to do the calculations. Neil deGrasse Tyson tells us it works both ways, depending on what math you use, but they still insist that there's a distance to the sun. Can't even prove that it's a tangible physical object.
Any evidence
Well,
of
they
south?
can't-
A few assumptions, a bit of math.
When they can't prove
Some
anything,
spices.
they use.
Hold on.
When they can't prove
Chocolate
anything,
first,
they
then
use
10th
math.
man. Go on, chocolate.
No, I was just saying, just a few assumptions here and there, a little bit of math, a few spices and herbs, and there you go. 93 million miles.
Perfect. Yeah, an assumption of Venus being the same size as Earth, Earth being a spherical object. Go ahead, 10th man.
Well, I'm sorry that I overtalked. When they can't do the scientific method, they make up a probability.
Yeah, absolutely. Correlation is not causation. Any more for any more? If not, we'll move on. I think we did gravity, covered it at least a little bit, so I'll move past that and say any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth.
Nope.
That's a mouthful, isn't it? Nah.
So is there a molten iron core at the center of imagination? No.
Yeah, a molten iron core at the centre of Narnia. I mean, a spherical Earth.
I've got a unicorn part in my garage that's got a molten iron core.
My candies have a molten iron core.
Say again, Jessica?
I said my candies have a molten core. I don't know if that counts.
No, I believe the presupposed spherical Earth has a chocolate candy.
I've got to deal with that, Jessica, now.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, guys. I've got to
That's
deal with that. Look, it's enough that I have to add... with which one is it the Ranty pipes up on? I think it's curvature, right? Or axial rotation, normally Ranty pipes up on. So I have to now add on the end of it, of the Earth-based variety, just to stop Ranty saying, yeah, my woman's bum's got a curve or an axial rotation on blah, blah, blah. Now you're adding on, Jessica, she's decided that she needs to add on that the molten iron core needs more disclaimers adding on to any evidence for presupposed a molten iron core at the centre for a presupposed spherical Earth.
She's a troll.
I can't add any more on. I can't do it with one breath. Come on, Jessica, be reasonable.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
You could
No,
at
there
least
was
specify
there was
that,
a-
Nathan. You could
I
at least
really
specify
do want to know if they can build anything that can go beneath that infrastructure. Like they've dug 8 miles, right? But they can't go past a certain point. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to build something or create something to penetrate whatever it is they can't get through. So if they do that, that would be awesome. But other than that, I don't think we're ever gonna know. So it's
They made a movie about it even. They just get a giant tungsten drill machine and then they can drill through the center of the Earth. They made a movie about it, so...
I remember an old commercial about the candy, which was called Tootsie Roll. And the commercial had a jingle. It was, how many licks does it take to get to the middle of the... That's what I think she was talking about.
I was gonna say that, but I held back.
Last but not least, any evidence of the presupposition itself, Earth radius, the R value. R.
Oh my god.
I tell you what,
Just from space.
let me just address a common claim by ballers whilst we're on the R point. I often hear, where's it gone? Oh, balls, where's it gone? I often hear ballers claiming, Polaris moves by 1 degree every 69 miles. And they describe it as a linear relationship. Now, if we're on a sphere, it has to be linear, right? It has to be linear. However, as we can see by Mick West himself, no less than Mick West, the wonderful man that he is, Mick West has evidence that shows that the stars, including Polaris, do not move at 69 for every 69 miles. They do not go by 1 degree because they appear to slow down. Now, he attributes this to standard refraction. I attribute this to perspective because we live on a plane. If the Earth was a plane, the stars would appear to slow down as it gets to the horizon, which is what he now shows with these blue lines that he puts in here. Hopefully, it's where he does it. Right. So what he's showing is the blue dots represent where the star should be or is relative to the where it should be, the line. So he's clearly demonstrating that the stars, including Polaris, does not move at 1 mile or 1 degree for every 69 miles. This is the proof. So anyone that tells you about Polaris, just remind them that Mick West proves that that's not true, and it's entirely consistent with living on a plane. I'm done.
So, Anthony, is he saying that only happens as it goes lower and it's just above the horizon?
Yeah, he says it's the last X amount of degrees where it starts to slow down. But basically, he's putting it down to standard refraction. There may be a little bit of standard refraction in there. We don't know how much standard refraction works in the sense that it's negligible. They call it as much negligible refraction as is humanly possible to make it a flat plane look curved. No, make a flat plane look curved. No, make a curved ball look flat. So they'll just slide the refraction slider right up. So there may be a little bit of refraction in there, but if the Earth's a plane, then the stars shouldn't slow down. There should be a linear relationship for the stars getting to the horizon, and there's not. They clearly slow down, and Mick West admits it himself. So we can't prove standard refraction. Okay, we'll give him a little bit of standard refraction, but how much do we give him? The simple fact is it has to be linear on a sphere, and it's clearly not linear. It starts to slow down as it gets to the horizon, which is exactly what you'd expect on a sphere. So don't let them fool you with Polaris and 69 miles and 1 degree. It's nonsense.
Well, when you were showing that, immediately my mind went to the straw in the glass of water that looks bent, but we know it's not bent. The boat oar in the water that looks bent, but we know it's not bent. And then what we covered earlier today on the show with the horizon line and the mirroring. It's just once it hits that lower atmosphere, we have a mirroring effect on the stars, right?
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heliocentricity only exists in pseudoscience.
May I ask something?
Yeah.
Do you think that could also be added as a housekeeping question, like whether or not there's any evidence of Polaris actually having moved, or is that too far-fetched?
Yeah, they make the claim based on, it's like the Etvos effect. They claim that the Etvos effect causes objects to be, because it's rotating at a slightly different rate as you go up and down the lines of latitude. They claim that it makes objects of weight change its weight. And if that was true, you could buy gold on the equator and then sell it in Europe, and it would be worth more in Europe because it weighs more because it's not spinning as fast. And obviously that's nonsense. But that's the claim, but it's based entirely on their model. It's not based on empirical evidence.
Yeah, and no one will question it. People will just accept it and move on. Like, oh, that's a cool fact, and then don't think about it.
That's why we're
Shout out
here.
to Brandon Toy.
Sounds like a new diet plan. Just move to where your weight is less.
Yeah, because your centrifugal force is less, so you're going to lose a couple of pounds.
Exactly.
Okay, other than the mathematical presuppositions that are made to verify with correlations not verified by any actual evidence, that pretty much concludes the housekeeping. Thank you very much indeed. Hey, Arwin.
Yeah?
Where did you go?
I think someone's
Yeah,
just
I
joined.
didn't know he left.
I think someone's just joined under Arwin's name.
No? What? Where?
Where did you go?
I was always here.
Yeah, someone else has just joined under his name, I believe. So
No.
they're in the
No.
back chat.
It says
Kick out.
Arwin left the group chat. Arwin joined the group chat.
Just glitchy. We've had a glitch on the last show as well, where both Ranty and I lost our screen sharing ability at the exact same moment. Just a glitchy day. One of those things. Not to worry. At least we got through the housekeeping. Happy days.
Whoa.
Last 2 shows before, well, not today's, but technically 3 shows ago, we got to like question 2 both times. Axial rotation, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, good time to plug Ballbusters.
Yeah, I just did an advert today. I did stick it in. I just keep running out of time. There's not enough hours in the day these days. Smash the super chat. I work so hard. Poor me, poor me. Anyway, I sent it out in Bulbusters Skype chat, and I was like, assuming that I'd get some feedback, and I didn't even check it. And then this morning, my wife pointed out that I still hadn't published it, so I stuck it out. If there's a spelling error, then tough luck or whatever. Hopefully, it's okay. But it also had a link to Bulbusters 9, which is going to be about evolution. So check it out. It's going to be on Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central. Be here or be sphere. Bulbusters live.
I'm just going to give a quick summary for the close on the point I made at the end of the last show. Heliocentrists abhor scientific method. Basically, just ask them 3 questions. What's your observed phenomena? That's the dependent variable. They'll give you an answer. What's causing it? What's your independent variable? They'll give you an answer. If the independent variable is not the same thing that they're claiming, then that's basically not proving the point that they're making. Alternatively, if it is the thing that they're testing, then it'll be an inferred something. It'll be something they bring in to infer. So, like gravity can be inferred as a result of that, but they didn't test gravity because that would have been the independent variable that they've got to manipulate to prove the cause and effect relationship. But what they'll then do is they'll say, "Oh, right, so you've got your very own interpretation of science," and you just say, "No, there's a standardized set of questions and rules and framework that we follow called scientific method, and you do have to manipulate your independent variable." And they hate.
Oh, Anthony's sound.
Oh, I think what?
I knew there was another Arwin that joined, so just lost off the panel. Shout out to Rebel Rob TV and Colin Turner for smashing the super chat. Really appreciate your support. So we're going to lose the rest of the panel. Is it going to be worth setting up a new hangout? I haven't done this for about a month.
I can only see myself in there. I don't see the second Arwin, so
We just lost Chocolate.
Yeah, we lost Chocolate and Anthony and
Ranty as well.
Ranty.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, I'm not supposed to see myself in there.
Right. Oh well,
shit.
it's a bit late
Sorry,
to figure that out.
I sniped them out. Sorry, I
It's okay. I think it's probably going to be an opportunity to set up a new hangout, so I will do exactly that. So, unfortunately, guys, this is where I'm going to say goodbye to you, and then it'll be a few minutes of me singing the dulcet tones of Isa Maholsky. Welcome to the show. You don't know. No, you don't know. Do the work of but a moment, he says, optimistically. Is this going out live? So this is going out live on Nathan Oakley channel. I suppose I could use the opportunity to plug this channel. So when this is premiering, the people who are watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, if you did want to be watching this show live, you would need to be tuned in to Nathan Oakley channel. There is a link in the info box to my second channel. And often, well, that's not true, often, once this last weekend, the secondary channel actually had more views and more watch time and more in the stats than the main channel. So the extended shows, what are called the uncut and after shows, have been doing exceptionally well. So there's obviously, more focus in the second channel. It's more dedicated fans, if you want to call it that. I know I'll probably get stick for that, but nonetheless, the shows are quite considerably longer. And as is the case with most of the pre-shows and after shows, the guests tend to be a lot more relaxed. Now, because that's the case, because the guests are a bit more relaxed, some of the conversations tend to flow just that little bit nicer. People are a bit less nervous. And over the weekend, you'll be familiar with these shows because they play out on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday on the main channel. So, that being the case, if you hit the info box below this 1980 video, so Nathan Oakley 1980, shout out to everyone live. I'm not talking to you right now. If you hit the info box in Nathan Oakley 1980, go and subscribe to my second channel. It is ace. You say so myself, but it's where I actually watch the show. I can't remember, I read this ages and ages ago, that if you actually watch your own show, if you're a YouTuber and you genuinely enjoy your own show, there's a good chance that quite a number of other people will also enjoy your show. And I'm not in the slightest bit embarrassed to confess that I really do enjoy watching the Flat Earth debate, and I typically watch it on the Nathan Oakley channel, on the second channel. So you'll often see me in the chat there, chatting away with the participants. So if you're in Ballbusters or you're in Masturbators, stuck the link to the new Hangout, so hopefully we'll get a few guests in, and then I will share it with the public shortly. Well, let's get the Hangout page back up for the audience, so you've not got my slides going by. Hey, Ranty.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just getting on to Sleeping Warrior because he hasn't donated to the drone fund yet.
Neither have I. I will do, though. When we do our Ranty-a-thon, I'll do it like right at the beginning, just to set a good example. That's my intention. Like I say,
when do you want to do it?
I like to be the first, and I wasn't.
When would you like to do it then?
The Ranty-a-thon?
Yeah.
Whenever. It's more down to you, because it's the way it worked last time was you streamed on your show. I was in the chat genning up the audience and back and forth with you on Skype saying, no, playing more videos. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hello.
But it's more down to when do you want to do it. Other than me smashing the super chat at the beginning of it, or not the super chat, smashing the GoFundMe link at the beginning of it and being in your chat to gen up the audience. Because what I did there was basically in the chat room, which I love. I like the chat rooms. Shout out to all of you in chat. Hey, Pete Shea. Hey, Bible Literalist. Hey, Sleeping Warrior, you're on the show. You should be. Right, so, from the chat, I was like, genning it along. So you're talking about an observation, but I can actually shout out somebody there and then in the chat during the Ranty-a-thon for how much they've donated and give a running tally of what's been contributed there and then. And it kind of, I call it a Ranty-a-thon because I very distinctly remember, hey, Chocolate saying, should be leveling you all up really while this is going on. Hello. I remember it when I was a kid, Red Nose Day and things like that. Hey, Sleeping Warrior.
Thanks for the link, Nathan.
I stuck it in Ballbusters.
I'm not in Ballbusters.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
No, I'm not in Ballbusters. I'm not in Masturbators chat. I'm not anywhere, me. I'm a loner.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Mel.
Hey, I gave it to you. Give me a shout out.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, for the link. Shout out to
second-hand link. You got a second-hand link there, Tony.
Sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds.
Excellent. So yeah, I remember Red Nose Day and Children in Need and all those things, and they were called telethons, right? Well, they always had somebody in the background or in the corner screen while they had a piece to camera. So they'd talk about the Ethiopians, and then in the corner you'd have somebody with the counter of how much they'd raised, and there'd be shout outs to the people who bought the big checks along. And it's kind of the same theme. People, it makes it a bit more of an event when you donate. Now, obviously, in the meantime, if you want to do it right now, we're in the second channel, Ranty. Feel free to spam your GoFundMe link as we're talking about it. It just makes people that much more inclined to partake, because the whole idea of generating funds for something like a drone or the P1000 is that it's giving back to the community. Now, this might sound a bit mercenary. Switch off if you're going to ridicule me or Ranty for this. I don't care. Couldn't care less. Basically, you don't get a great deal out of the YouTubing aspect of it. Now, I'm here to make a living doing this, and I'll never deny that, but we're not talking about me, we're talking about you. You don't. You've got a much smaller channel. It's doing well, but as a part-time or casual YouTuber. But you've still got these things that you want to produce better work, and that's how ultimately your channel will grow, as opposed to just, documentaries that you might spend hours editing. You're going out and getting raw footage. So you want more raw footage equipment, and talking about the equipment, showing what you've got to date during a Ranty-thon with me genning people up to actually contribute, and when they have, shouting them out and saying what the total is. That works really well, or it did last time.
You want to do it tomorrow?
What day is it tomorrow? Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh, it's Ballbusters tomorrow. We could do it. Could do it before Ballbusters if you like. Oh no, I've got my sister. I've got my family coming over tomorrow to visit the new baby. Do you want to do it on Monday?
I'll be at work, unless it's at evening.
What about Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Do it Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it Sunday evening.
No, well, I don't want to compete with Globebusters, so.
No, but our evening before Globebusters, so like 5 PM or something.
5 PM. 5 PM UK time. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
On Sunday.
So it's about 11 Central, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm up for that. Sunday, 11 PM Central, or is it 10 PM? I don't know, I'll have to work it out. But thereabouts for the people over in the States, and it'll be about 5 PM UK time, Sunday. Be here, No, be on Ranty Flat Earth channel.
Yes, that's where I'll stream it from.
Cool. Right, now, where's Arwin?
Yeah, back to the show.
Yeah, we haven't got an Arwin, but nevertheless, I'll share the link to the public, so...
Well, hang on, just before you do, I want to do a quick response to a troll in chat.
We need an Arwin. We do need an Arwin.
Or just a private link, just 2 minutes.
I do feel slightly naked without an Arwin.
Yeah, it's like when they say we have a Hulk. It's like,
We've got an Arwin.
We have an Arwin.
Right, you're on, Anthony.
All right, so I'm addressing in chat this guy called Supercurve. Let's just have a look at this. Might be a waste of time, actually. I should have checked this before I engaged. Don't engage with troll. Oh, fuck, he's a fucking zero sub channel, isn't he? This is a total waste of time. I'll do it anyway because I'll demonstrate how the scientific method applies. His claim was that this video by Phuket Word entitled "No Gravity, No Globe: Demo Relative Density on a Flat Earth." His claim is that this proves gravity, right? So let's apply scientific method. Observed phenomena, egg appears to be suspended without force of gravity attached to it. Independent variable is going to be gravity. So what do we need to manipulate to prove that gravity is the cause of something if we change something? Now he's claiming this is proof of gravity. Well, we didn't do that, did we? We changed the medium that the egg's in. So his claim is that, well, you've changed the mass of the medium that the egg is in. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. But he thinks there's gravity in here. So what he does is he infers that there is a force pushing the egg up, and that's the buoyancy force caused by the increase in density that's coming to the bottom of the tub because we know that layers settle and the more dense stuff goes to the bottom. He's implying that there's a buoyant force pushing up the egg, which he infers from gravity pulling down the weight that is the extra salt solution that's in it. But he's inferring this. He's not actually testing this by wiggling the independent variable. So the independent variable is the presumed cause in the hypothesis test. So in this case, the presumed cause is the density of the liquid. The hypothesis is that if we change the density of the liquid that the egg is in, we can force a displacement and therefore an accelerated mass. And obviously Newton says that where you have an accelerated mass, you have a force. Not that I agree with Newton. I'm just saying that that's what he says. So if we manipulate the medium that the egg sits in and the egg displaces and therefore moves, according to Newton, there is a force. And what do you know? When you change the solution, the density of the solution, and hopefully I'll find a bit where it goes up to the top or the bottom. Where is it? Oh, this is the post. This is the post position. So what he's doing here, this is before he changes the solution. So before he changes the solution, the egg sits at the top. After he changes the solution, the egg's now at the bottom, and we've changed the density. Now, because scientific method states that your independent variable is your presumed cause, if we change the density of the liquid, egg displaces. On this occasion, he's put more water in it that's got a salt solution in it, and he's changed the density of the liquid. It's had a slightly different effect, but we could do it with a fixed line. In fact, I might actually do this as my own little test where I do it exactly the way I'm portraying it. But the presumed cause is the independent variable, and that's the thing you manipulate. If he's going to claim that this is proof of gravity, then unfortunately, gravity's got to be your independent variable that you wiggle to prove that it's the cause of the effect. You can't infer it. You can't make inferences that gravity exists because that's called pseudoscience. That crosses the boundary between what you can prove by manipulation, demonstration, and cause and effect. That's where it crosses the line. You can't make inferences of what you think's there by coming up with some pretty mathematics to explain what you think's happening. You've got to demonstrate it. And obviously nobody can demonstrate gravity because depending on what your definition of gravity is, of course, it should be the curvature of space-time, not a force. But anyway, it should be the case that you manipulate your gravity and nobody can do that unless you are God. So no, this is not a demonstration of gravity. You can only infer gravity. And if you try and manipulate your cause being gravity, good luck with that because nobody can do that. So no, it's not a proof of gravity at all. This is a proof literally of changing the relative density, and that's all it is. So no, super, unfortunately, wrong. I'm done.
Coolio. So hopefully somebody will watch the back chat. Got the link out now, so if you want to join, refresh your page.
Yeah, I'll do that. Seeing as though we've not got our beast.
We need a Hulk.
No, we just need somebody
Arwin.
We have an Arwin.
Just don't get him angry.
Good presentation nonetheless, Anthony. I mean, yeah, anybody can criticise the crude nature of the demonstration, but ultimately speaking, it doesn't matter. Yes, you could refine it right down. It wouldn't make any difference. You're still varying the density of the solution. That's what's causing the varied position when it reaches neutral buoyancy. I keep saying this more and more. There is generally neutrality. You don't tend to see things falling. You don't tend to walk out and see eggs rising up in deep puddles. What we tend to see is things in equilibrium. That's the general rule. So things saying, why does things go down? Well, they don't. You look at this picture now. What's falling? Nothing. What's rising up? Nothing. There's a bit of wind, a few trees moving. But basically, you've got neutrality. Everything's in equilibrium. A nice harmony of balance. Yeah? So you want to move something out of that equilibrium and ask me why? I'll say, well, you did that.
Hello,
Yeah.
Nathan.
Yeah, say again, 10th man.
Oh, I said hello. I just want to make sure you got my sound right. Can you expound? I think just by watching Sleeping Warrior do that, my mind went to how if it's true scientific method, it has to be observed in nature naturally. And can you contrast that with how pseudoscience tries to fit everything into that tight, narrow criteria?
Can you did you say contrast? Can you contrast?
Well, I want Nathan because he puts it so well that pseudoscience tries to put unnatural things that don't happen naturally into that first part, which is you must observe it as a phenomena.
Yeah, step one. We covered this in the pre-show. So the first thing you ask if there's a claim of science, well, what was the phenomena you observed? And if the phenomena is a leaf falling from a tree, then that is your phenomena. Not the presupposition that there's this thing called gravity. That's not what you're observing. That's not the phenomena you've just described when you say leaf falling from a tree. And as I say, I can change the medium and change the effect entirely. Put it in water and it doesn't have the same effect.
Right. So what you just said is what I want expounded on so the audience could get it, because what you saw was leaf falling and they go to their answer, oh, that's gravity, but they haven't done the scientific method yet.
No, that's why I say, again, this was covered in the pre-show, so shout out to all of you watching on the premiering stream on Nathan Oakley 1980. So yeah, once you've got the observed phenomena, you then establish what the cause of the phenomena is. But the phenomena itself has to be occurring in nature, not man-made.
Right. So leaf falling, and I got a globetard next to me. He says gravity. And I said, how do you get to that conclusion when all we observed was a leaf falling?
Well, he would say that it's fallen to the ground, therefore it's fallen to the center of mass, right?
Yeah, but if you're to assert that the cause of the phenomena of leaf falling is gravity, why did that leaf fall? Well, because a force of gravity pulled it to the ground. That's the assertion and the claim. So then you have their IV-DV relationship. Dependent variable, leaf falling. Independent variable, presumed cause of the effect, gravity. First, show me gravity. Then show me you varying and manipulating gravity to cause the leaf to fall. So that's why I said in the pre-show, your presumed cause must be real. Something that you can actually physically vary and manipulate. Not made up stuff. It's got to be a real thing. So yeah, what's gravity?
And if you observe a tree with a very thin limb with a bunch of leaves on it, you never see it bending as if there was a force pulling something.
Yeah, they just presuppose it. There's a guy in the chat now, Supercurve, same guy Anthony was talking to. Gravity is proportional to mass. Well, there's a declaration you haven't proved. So show me how it's proportional. Show me the effect of gravity if you're claiming it's an effect and not a cause. Then show it me. show me it as a natural phenomena, or show me it as a presumed cause that you're varying and manipulating. In both instances, you'll fail. It's just something you've made up. It's just something that's on paper in maths. It doesn't mean anything.
Yep. Science is empirical by nature. It's not mathematical by nature, and that's the problem with Super. He thinks that maths is explaining it away by maths, and that's not what we observe real world. That's not what we can demonstrate or manipulate. That's not what we can prove. Maths is not science. Maths is just an expression of language with numbers and symbols. It doesn't prove a cause and effect relationship. Maths has never proved anything.
If I ask you to show me gravity, Globehead in question will then show me the phenomena that they'll later try and assert a cause of gravity in terms of their phenomena. So I say, show me gravity, and they'll say, look, a leaf falling, or they'll drop a pencil, or a microphone. And you go, that's you dropping a microphone. Now show me gravity. Well, that's caused by gravity. Oh, right, so gravity's not something you can show me. It's not a phenomena. It's a cause now, is it? Oh, well, show me you varying and manipulating that which you presume caused that effect of you opening your hand, having taken a mic and put it into disequilibrium, and then releasing it so it reaches the original point it was at, equilibrium. Well, that description in no way has involved an assertion or presupposition of this magical force that you cannot show us as a phenomena and cannot vary and manipulate. As Anthony says, merely mathematics. Well, we're not talking about mathematics when we talk about the physical and natural world. We're talking about natural phenomena and causes thereof. That's it. It's very simple.
Yep.
In the physical natural world, have we ever observed something really big next to something really small having a pull on it?
We don't observe mass attracting mass in nature. Not only do we not observe a magical force of gravity, it's decried by the current rhetoric. There is no force of gravity, says Brian Cox.
They're walking backwards.
They're double speaking their way through their rhetoric. That's all they're doing.
Gravity either.
Sorry, I cut you off, Anthony. Carry on.
Einstein also says there's no force of gravity.
Yeah, that's the current rhetoric. Brian Cox, It's not a force at all. Well, yeah, because that's not the current rhetoric.
But they insist on trying to apply this force. They want to hold on to Cavendish at all costs. But Cavendish isn't even an experiment because you don't. What's your independent variable in the Cavendish experiment? Distance to weights, right? So distance to weights is meant to cause something, is it? Right? Distance is a concept. It's not a physical thing, an attribute. It's just something we measure. And obviously measurements are not actually anything. They're just what we use to describe what we're doing. But ultimately, the Cavendish experiment doesn't want to be relinquished by these morons who apply antiquated science that by 1920, when Einstein submitted his general relativity paper in 1915, everybody now accepted that it wasn't actually a force anyway, or so we're told. Not that I agree with that, but that's what we're told. So why keep reverting back to these forces that you think exist when Einstein said by 1920 that they were dead?
It gets worse with the Cavendish because, again, back like in the pre-show when I was explaining all this, you start by asking what's the phenomena. So if you're asking what exactly is happening, what is the phenomenon that you will be explaining the cause of, if that is the question that's being asked, then there is no observed phenomena. They claim mass is attracting mass. Where the hell are you seeing this happen in nature? Nowhere. Well, when you ask them that question, like we got from Circle Jerking Brenda, they assert over and over and over again that it happens in the test. Hey, John, can you hear us?
Yeah, how's my sound coming through?
Not bad. Crispy.
Sorry, I got around a little bit late this morning. Anthony, it's not the Cavendish experiment. Cavendish doesn't have an experiment. It's the Reverend John Mitchell Cavendish. So let's get that right.
John get special treatment?
Say again?
How come John's getting special treatment and he's not like a pauper like the rest of us?
Ranty's now presenting, so Ranty patiently had this up before the pre-show even started, so I don't want to delay anymore. So,
and Nathan, just one final thing. I just typed in on Google Cavendish, and it shows many restaurants named Cavendish. So actually, Cavendish does attract people.
Reverend John Mitchell, or Michelle, whichever, I don't know, and Cavendish that developed this. So a priest is the originator of this quasi-experiment. Reverend John Mitchell.
think that calls for the global prayer.
Radius Dominus, Gravitus Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
So yeah, I was out this morning. Am I still presenting, Nate?
You are. It's very noisy here, so I'm going to be on mute for a bit.
Okay, so yeah, I went down to the beach today and I wanted to follow this boat. I think I titled the stream going to try and view a boat going over the curvature or something like that. Of course we never did, and I made a prediction at the start of the live stream that all we would see is the boat basically go into an inferior mirage and disappearing behind the inferior mirage. So this is some of the footage that I took. I'll skip along to the next one, and here we have the same boat. Now then, do you notice anything about that boat compared to the boat we were just looking at? I'll make it easier for you guys.
No, I can see it. I just don't want to disturb it with racket. It looks like it should be letting in water through those windows, eh, Ranty?
Yeah, have you seen the length of these windows down here compared to the real length of the windows? But what's obviously happening is we're getting an inferior mirage right about here. And funnily enough, that inferior mirage is stretching the windows down, just as it is with the other stuff that we've come up with. And it's hiding this blue area. All the blue is hidden by the reflected white that's being miraged down upon it. And it blocks it out. It blocks everything from the underneath out. You can't see through the inferior mirage. It just creates a mirror image. And that's all we get to see throughout the entire footage. I'll put this video together because I did do it as a live stream and it was only through the viewfinder, so you couldn't really see it very well. But the prediction at the start, which was that the boat would just go into an inferior mirage and disappear into the distance and end up fading into the inferior mirage line, is exactly what happened. No boats went over the curve, Nathan.
No, the Earth is obviously unobservably flat. Another excellent demonstration. It's been a great day. I'm glad these go out on a delay on the main channel. Yeah, cracking demonstration.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, whilst we're there, I just wanted to just show something. I was focusing on this boat. Where are we? Was it? Let's go back to it. Let me just find the clip. I think it's this one here. Yeah. So I'm focusing on this boat out here, and obviously I'm seeing this boat. It's a small boat. It's a fishing boat. I think these are typically around about 16 or 17 foot in height. Because it's similar to the one that was hired in Wales. Anyway, it parks up in a minute and it just goes to the side. But what I want to focus on is the height of these waves as they splash up along the front. Now this is down to the chop, the swell, and the waves that are out there. Yeah. Now to me that looks pretty rough. You know, if you were on that boat, you're going to be thrown around quite a bit. And yet, when I zoom back out again, when I zoom back out, you'll see that this is the waves that we get at the shoreline. Very, very just little trickles up to your feet, and they'll stop here. There's no energy left on them. But when we zoom back into the boat, you'll see that it is being chucked around quite a lot out there. So this is all following on with the talk of the swell and the waves and how they cause obstruction. And secondly, I tried to find. I've got the name of the boat. It's called the Blue Mink. So I was able to zoom in and I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I can get the data for that. There it is. It's called the Blue Mink. Because I was thinking it was about 4 miles away, 4 or 5 miles away, but I couldn't prove it. So when I went looking for it, which is up here, Ship AIS, I typed it in for the Blue Mink, and basically it just said Blue Mink. It just said you couldn't find it, so that boat isn't registered. I wasn't able to get anything.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Is that Arwin? Hey, Arwin.
Yeah.
Bless
Okay.
you.
Hey, Warren.
Hey,
There is a point. There is a point to this. So if I can't find this boat on the tracker and I can't get its GPS location, I have no way of validating how far away this boat is. Now there's nothing hidden on that boat, and I know my elevator. I know my tape measure. I just measured it. I showed you in a minute. I'll put the tape measure down. There we go. I'm putting the tape measure down. So I can't prove where the horizon is or if these guys are beyond the horizon because I don't know. But if I had a drone, I could fly above them and I would know it's GPS.
Shout out to Julio Pabon. Hope I haven't butchered your name. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Really do appreciate it.
So, yeah, there we go. Just thought I'd show you that.
Can I just say, Ranty, a few days ago, hey, Jessica, welcome back.
Hello, Jessica.
Oh,
Hello. A few days ago, you were a bit down in the mouth about, well, flat Earth in general, and I hope that when we do the Ranty-thon, you'll be rejuvenated, because the last few days, you've been absolutely on fire. I'm not kidding.
Well, you know, sometimes, you know, I mean, it's a lot of hard work doing this, you know. So, you know, you want to feel if you put in the effort in, you want to see some results. It's like today, I'd have loved to have come home and just seen where that boat was, find its GPS tracker, know how far it was, and then go, hey, guess what? It should have been 5 foot hidden or something. But I can't prove it. I can't prove how far away the boat was.
Guys, what's wrong
What?
with this 1.5 volt idiot?
Oh,
Spamming in the chat. Yeah.
oh, this is
Wrong with that?
interesting. Look at this, Nath.
Oh,
Look at that.
wow.
Look at this boat.
That's one hell of a fold line, eh?
But you can clearly see it's atmospheric.
Well, you're seeing the ripple of water in the boat. This is a perfect example. If Life is Short on the last show was here now, he'd be saying, yeah, that's the water. You know, this is where we're saying it would be rising up beyond the I have to do it for the audience only. Let me just get my mouse. Where the hell is my mouse gone? There it is. So what they're claiming is the leading edge of the sphere, yeah, is not where the obstruction's starting, because we've got this fold line with the Mirage that Ranty's describing coming down. But in this Mirage, you can see what's coming up from the water. So you can see this rippling water like it's part of the boat, which it obviously isn't. But that's what would be described earlier on the last show by Life is Short as the horizon rising up further as you could look further in the distance. Now, obviously, at this very acute angle...
Well, hold on. Just want to correct you there, Nath. On this particular case, it's not the case because the hull of this boat is blue.
Oh, okay.
So
But it
it's
just
actually
dumped
the
$20 on you.
yeah, it's actually part of the hull that's just on the Mirage line, literally. So you're seeing part of the hull.
I stand
which
corrected.
is blue.
I stand corrected. I'll just do a quick shout out again to Julio Pavon. Again, I hope I didn't butcher your name. It says, Earth is flat, God is real, here's a blessing. Thank you very much for your super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah, smash the super chat if you want to support this channel. Shout out again to Julio. Sorry to interrupt, Ranty.
No worries. It's just, you know, I mean, you can clearly see with this demonstration that the hull is visible, and it's clearly higher than the water. You know, it's a very clear image, this one, because I'm very low down. I think I'm only about 2.5 foot above the water at this time. Yeah, just good stuff.
Nah, it's all looming over the horizon.
Oh, damn it. On the last show, I was like, I'm glad we're reaching the point where we don't have to put in the sarcastic counter.
Sorry.
That's all right. We'll get there, Arwin. We'll get there together.
We need an Arwin. You didn't hear what we were saying before, Arwin. We need a Hulk. We said, well, why do we need a Hulk? We've got an Arwin.
Don't let him know that we equivocated and basically compared him to Hulk. he'll get a massive head from that.
Arwin Smash?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Arwin Smash.
Nah.
Well, again, that's probably the third thanks you've had in the last few hours for your excellent presentations, Ranty. Thank you very much indeed.
Right. Well, I'm all presented out today, so you guys carry on.
Well, I'm sure we'll go over these again in the Ranty-a-thon on Sunday, so I'll do a plug for that and a plug for Ballbusters in this little gap. So 2 p.m. Central Time and 8 p.m. UK time on Saturday, which will be the 11th. So tune in, be here or be Sphere for Ballbusters 9, which will be on Evolution. So check it out if you're watching this on the re-up. So if you're not watching this live, it'll have actually taken place already, because this is going out on Sunday, this particular show, this Flat Earth debate at least. However, I think, again, I'm probably plugging only to the live audience here, because the Ranty-a-thon will hopefully have also taken place at 5 p.m. UK time on Sunday, which is the 12th. So again, be there or be square ranty flat Earth channel. And hopefully we'll get him some way closer to getting his Mavic Pro and bringing us back some absolutely superb footage from Loch Ness. During the Rantathon, hopefully we're going over some of the footage that we use so often here on the debates and reveling in its glory. So check it out. Excellent stuff. We're about 10 minutes left on this live debate, just so you know.
Did you see Simon Dan release a video making a very, very grovelling apology about his mistaken...
What?
I don't watch Simon Dan, but tell us all about it.
Oh, well, I'm being sarcastic, really. He didn't make a very big apology about mistaking the comet that he saw. So obviously, he said he'd seen Hale-Bopp. He said he'd seen Halley's Comet in the 1990s. Well, of course, it didn't pass by. Then it was in 1986, and so he Tony did a video about it, saying obviously he was wrong, and now he realizes it was probably Hale-Bopp, and he literally spent about 10 seconds making a retraction on it. Wasn't really very, very good, really, especially when it was tied in with a whole host of other things like an 85-year cycle or a 75-year cycle of this comet, which was the wrong comet. So it should have had a bigger apology, I think.
So what he should have said was, my entire point was negated by this one mistake. Please rub it in my face. No, at least he's retracted it. Good for you, Simon Dan. Even though you're getting stick from Ranty here, good for you, you've retracted it. Yes, you did make a glaring error. A very big lapse in your research. Yes, poor show. Well retracted.
I thought Tony would have spoken about it.
He might not be by his mic at the moment. You just don't know.
Oh.
So...
I
was just going to bring up some accounts, just a slight sidestep in conversation. So, were you all aware now that Google Earth's basically a flat Earth map?
No.
What is back?
Google Earth. Were we all aware? I mean, we'd all been using it. Obviously, we were kind of semi-aware, subconsciously aware, that to make our arguments work in any way, shape or form, we'd have to be using a flat Earth representation when you zoomed into the Google Earth map. You know, it's telling you the elevations aren't any different no matter where you are. There's no 8 inches per mile drop on that depiction of the flat plane we dwell atop. It's a flat Earth representation. Yeah, you can zoom right out and it re-renders it every time you move the presupposed sphere around that's being rendered. But ultimately speaking, when you're actually using it as a useful map, close in, zoomed in, it's presenting the world as a flat plane. There's no drop.
Yeah, John showed that with the Lake Pontchartrain from one end to the other, and then Ron had the picture of the bridge and the water line below the bridge, and it never showed a curve of any kind for an elevation change.
Yeah, if we're living on a globe, which is the assertion currently held by most people in the Western world, then there would need to be a drop from your feet in all directions. If it's a ball, right? Well, no, there isn't any drop ever.
Michael O'Sullivan says, elevation above sea level in brackets. Why would there be a drop? Sphere or not? What a retarded argument, guys.
Sorry, why would there be a drop? Well, why would you ever assert that the curve maths, which is mathematically calculating the drop, is ever applicable then? If you're saying there's no drop, why would you ever assume such a stupid thing? Then why would you ever try and calculate the drop?
Would people actually say, why is there a drop? Like, why would there be a drop? Will actually accept it.
Yeah, that person in the audience, go to Metabunk and say, why are you trying to calculate a drop? Because according to Google Earth, there isn't one. Yeah, that would be our point. Welcome to Flat Earth, whoever said that in the chat. Yeah, that's right, Sunshine. No drop. That's right. Yeah, our point. No drop. Yes, well done. Yeah, Google backed us on that point. Well done.
Yeah, they think they live on a level curve. That's what they think.
It's the biggest oxymoron of the century.
Yep. That's when you boil it down, when you break it down, they're saying that they live on a level curve. That's it.
They keep changing the shape, trying to say it's oblate or that it's all this other type of stuff, and it's like we've never seen that though.
It's
It
oblate.
doesn't make
Somebody
sense.
forgot
There'd
to tell
still be a
NASA.
drop even on an oblate spheroid.
Somebody forgot to tell NASA then.
When you take the air out of their ball, it goes flat.
Yep.
It's just a bunch of hot air, literally, just talking.
But remember, air is not atmosphere, so.
Oh, that's a Rumpus quote. That's a Rumpus quote.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, that is so rumpus. Only he could say something like that with a straight face.
We want to see that again, don't we? I think we want to see that again.
Did you want to bring it up? Have you got it to hand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do some jiggery pokery with some buttons. Give me a second.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
It's going to be a fairly slick way to round out the live show. Can you make it any bigger?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. You're on screen.
Yeah, so obviously, well, it says 11 months ago, but this was about 3 years ago. You know, Mr. Utter. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're the utter moron. Air is not the atmosphere. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with anything else. Of course, atmo means air. I mean, this is beyond retard. I mean, come on.
And with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on the second channel, Nathan Oakley, then unfortunately this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you tuned in, smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. And of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. If you need to keep yourself occupied after the live stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. Once again, if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, stay tuned. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!